Let's go from Letterkenny to Kilmacrennan. The Kilmacrennan Regeneration Group are members of the local community there and coming together as an umbrella group for various groups in the town, like Tidy Towns and Vintage Club and even sheep shearing. And the idea is to help regenerate the town and promote local historical landmarks. Well, the official launch of the group is next Saturday night. And I'm joined by two now, Dennis Sheridan and Gus O'Driscoll. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, John.
Gus, I'll start with you. Why this group and why now?
Well, we had seen over the worst years of the recession, John, that Kilmacrennan as a village had suffered very, very badly. It's a very proud village, tremendous history, the place of education of Columkill, as a town, a market town down through the years, place of inauguration or religious inauguration of the Donegal chieftains, a very proud and historic village. And it was upsetting as a businessman in the area to see how the town or the village suffered through the worst years of the recession. But good things come out of difficult times, and a group of businessmen, farmers, agricultural contractors, from across the community got together and said, right, enough's enough, it's time to put our best foot forward again. And really it was this group is the genesis of that coming together, and I'm delighted with the progress and the steps we've taken to date, and we're ready, if you like, to show ourselves to the public next Saturday night.
Dennis, the same could be said about so many towns and villages around the country, that there's so much history attached to them, but it's often a case of finding out more and then highlighting it in order to make it attractive for people.
Yeah, well, I suppose that's one of the reasons that we're here this morning, is to highlight the launch next week. And we're hoping that a lot of people will come along and that they'll be able to see what Kilmacrennan, learn a bit more about Kilmacrennan, and we'll be launching on that night the website, the official website for the Regeneration Group. And I suppose it's for, like I just be repeating what Gus said, we could see Kilmacrennan needed this, what we're trying to do here today, and since that we've started this Regeneration Group, we've seen there's been a lot of activity in the town, because the Regeneration Group has brought the Tidy Towns and the Man Shed and different things together. Like at Christmas time, there we had a clean up in Kilmacrennan, and it was amazing to see how many people came out. There's actually a buzz in Kilmacrennan now since the Man Shed and the Tidy Towns have made a great improvement to the town. As I say, at Christmas time we put up Christmas lights in the town, really the first time that Christmas lights went up, and I don't know how many years, and the amount of volunteers that came out for that, young and old, and also for the clean-up at Christmas. We had some of the oldest citizens in the town, like I don't really want to mention names, but we could mention the like
young and old alike.
Young and old, we could mention the like of Susan Shields, and such a very different variety of people that come out, as I say, young and old. And
but it takes something like this to energise people.
Yeah, and I suppose we've taken a sort of an unusual step as well, and we have appointed a village manager or a town manager, and he'd be one of the youngest members of the group, Frankie McElwee. He's a very young man, and at the very start we thought we should be looking for somebody, an older person, to take on this role, but then we decided on a young person. It was a good decision, because Frankie is full of energy, and he's full of ideas, and we're trying to involve the young people in this as well, to get young people in, and Frankie is one of the young people, and we believe that he'll probably attract more young people into it, and that's kind of where we're finding our way. We're sort of fumbling along, but it's working, and we see things are just starting to happen. We're about a year on the go, I would say, Gus, and this official launch, I think, will hopefully attract new members into the group and let people know exactly what we're doing,
Hopefully so. And Gus, it would be nice to think that there'll be a knock-on benefit from this, in that maybe the town then will become more attractive to businesses, and you might see maybe more shops or restaurants or other businesses coming to the town as a result.
You're 100% spot on, John, and it's actually reassuring to see the towns, if you like, the phoenix rising from the ashes, as it were, within the last 12 to 24 months. We've seen a lovely new bar in Kilmacrennan being built from scratch, Nora's Bar, really classy old world bar. And we've seen Councillor John O'Donnell, redevelop the Millbridge Bar and Restaurant and start to bring it to the fore as a country music venue, and certainly that's attracting a new crowd.
And there was a big festival there this summer.
Very successfully ran. John works with a single purpose vehicle in the town, very good positive development called Kilmacrennan Community Development, and their single focus is to deliver a substantial athletic centre for the village with a pitch and running track, and they're well on the road to delivering that. And on behalf of our group, we'd like to applaud them in their objective and lend our support to that. I'd also like to mention the Kilmacrennan Thatch Cottage, which is recently revamped and under new management, and it's certainly a beautiful, iconic welcome gateway, if you like, to the northwest. And I think it's a really nice atmosphere. An old thatch cottage coffee shop and doing lovely food, and I think that should also be supported and enjoyed.
Well, it all sounds great, and it's very positive, and continued success with this. Now, the launch is this day week, is that right? And how can people get involved? How can locals get involved? Maybe people who are hearing this and saying, maybe I could have something that I could bring to the table.
Well, that's one thing that Dennis and I would be very, very much in agreement on. We're just businessmen. We're all busy with our own lives, but there are people out there in the community, and we've seen it with the Tidy Towns, we've seen it with the Men's Shed, people with great individual talent and great ideas. And even this week, 2 voluntary stonemasons appeared out of the community and revamped the face of the wall immediately over the Millbridge, and made a beautiful job of it. Voluntary talent that nobody knew or appreciated, and 2 men just stepped forward and delivered. And we'd appeal to anybody in the village that has an idea or has thoughts or an idea or concept of how the village can be improved, if they would approach us. All ideas are welcome, all workers are welcome. We're there to facilitate.
And the launch is where next Saturday?
In the community hall, which our group has recently taken over the management of, and it's next Saturday night. Everybody's welcome. There'll be a number of speakers, dignitaries on the night. Minister Joe McHugh is in attendance, Councillor Brogan, Councillor McMonigal, a selection of Donegal County councillors and local dignitaries and national businessmen. So it'll be an interesting night. There'll be a bit of audio visual with a look back at Kilmacrennan and hopefully a look forward to where we're going.
Well, it's a great idea, and you know what? There's a lot of communities who are further on the road, and maybe who will be looking back and saying, "Oh, I know where them fellas are now, and I know what lies ahead." But I wish them all the best, and I do wish you both all the best, and the wider community, because Kilmacrennan is a place close to my own heart. So Saturday night is the official launch, and there's going to be a website, and any more developments, keep us informed.
Thanks very much for your time, John.
Dennis Sheridan and Gus O'Driscoll there. Okay, that's the...